Previously, we've discussed that when the benefit or the compensation or anything received by a rank and file employee, okay, it will form part of his or her compensation income, okay, which will be subject to regular income tax. On the same topic, within the same topic we've discussed, no, ano ba yung mga benefits, although received by rank and file, is still exempt from regular income tax. That's why we discuss de minimis benefits. Na pag ang natanggap ng empleyado ay de minimis benefits, yung mga transactions na diniscuss natin before, yung mga rice allowance, yung mga monetized leave, no? They are exempt. No? They are not subject to tax. What if in this case or today, what if ang naka-receive ay isang supervisory or managerial employee? Okay? Ang nakaka-receive ngayon ay supervisory or managerial employee. Okay? Doon sa sahod niya, walang question. Okay? We're talking about here yung benefit. Okay? Benefit. Such as, for example, si supervisor or manager, may binigyan siya ng sasakyan, which is usual. Especially if the medyo key employee, matagal na yung empleyado, meron siyang supervisory status, no, or work, or manager, binibigyan ng sasakyan. Or minsan, binibigyan ng kondo or pinambabayad. May free kondo ang nagbabayad, si employer. Okay? Those are the benefits. Okay? Those are the benefits. So, anong tawag natin doon? Ang makakatanggap si supervisor or manager, ang tawag natin doon, fringe benefit. Okay? Fringe benefit. And since ang fringe benefit yan, dahil natanggap ni supervisor or manager, it will be subject to fringe benefit tax. Okay? The term fringe benefit means any good or service or benefit other than the regular salary. Ibig sabihin, aside dun sa natatanggap na sahod ni supervisor or manager, no, or yung natatanggap niyang allowances, no, as an employee, this is any benefit, any good, service, or benefit which may be furnished or granted in cash or in kind by an employer, particularly to and in favor of the supervisor and the manager. Okay? Lahat ng matatanggap niya other than the regular salary and allowance, fringe benefit yan. Okay? Fringe benefit yan. What if ang nakatanggap rank and file? Nakatanggap ng sasakyan, rank and file. Part of the compensation income. Masasubject yan sa regular income tax. Ano pa ang difference nila? Ang regular income tax ang nagbabayad, employee, EE. Ang fringe benefit tax ang magbabayad, employer. Okay? See the difference? Pag ang makakatanggap ng fringe benefit or ang makakatanggap ng benefit, no, in addition to the salary, ay rank and file compensation income. Parte ng compensation income. Parang bonus lang yan. It will be subject to regular income tax. Sino magbabayad? Yung empleyado. Empleyado ang magbabayad. Pag ang nabigyan si supervisor or manager, fringe benefit tax ang tax dyan. Ang magbabayad ng tax, si employer. So, shoulder ni employer. Si employer na nag-provide ng service, ng good, or ng benefit, si employer din ang magbabayad ng tax. Okay? Now, since we're discussing about fringe benefit, no, we ought to know how much is or what is the rate, no, of the fringe benefit. The tax rate of fringe benefit is 35%. Generally, 35%. Napakalaki niyan. Okay? So, before we go to computing the 35%, no, we need to know certain rules, no, or rules in valuation. Kasi hindi lang naman tayo dito rektang magmo-multiply ng 35%. No, meron tayong rules na fina-follow. Okay? First rule, no? If the fringe benefit granted is money, or if the fringe benefit is granted in money, or is directly paid for by the employer, then the valuation, no? The valuation is the value, the the valuation is the amount granted or paid for. Yung mismong amount. Pag yung fringe benefit ay direktang pera or pinambayad, ay ang nagbayad directly si employer para kay employee. Ano yung example na yan? O, kunwari, si employer, kinuhanan niya ng ng katulong sa bahay. Di pala katulong. I apologize. Kinuhanan niya ng kasambahay. I apologize for the term. Na? Kinuhanan niya ng kasambahay si employee, supervisor. Okay? Okay, sige, sabi niya yung employer, hanap ka ng kasambahay. I will be the one will pay the salary of the kasambahay. Okay? I'll be the one will be paying the salary of the kasambahay. That's an example of an expense or an amount directly paid for by the employer in behalf of the employee. Okay? Ang amount nun, yung value ng money is the value of the benefit. As simple as that. No? Medyo common sense. Okay? What if the fringe benefit granted or furnished by the employer is property and owner, the benefit granted is a property and ownership is transferred to the employee. Paano yun? Binigyan ng sasakyan. Yung sasakyan, nakapangalan kay supervisor or manager. Okay? Now, the value of the goes on valuation. Okay. Okay? The value of the fringe benefit shall be equal to the fair market value of the property. Kung yung sasakyan, yung fair market value ng sasakyan na binili on behalf of the employee ay 500,000, then the value of the fringe benefit is 500,000. As simple as that. Huh? If the fringe benefit granted or the benefit granted or furnished by the employer is also a property, but the ownership is not transferred to the employee. Ibig sabihin, usufruct lang or usufructuary lang ang binigay. An example of which, ano ba yung usufructuary? A contract of usufruct. No? Usufruct from the term itself, usufruct. Pag ang isang bagay pinagamit mo with your permission sa ibang tao, pinahiram mo, tawag doon usufruct. From the term use. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo binibigay sa kanya yung isang bagay, pinapahiram mo lang. Okay? Pinapahintulutan mo ang isang taong gamitin ang bagay na pagmamay-ari mo. Mananatiling sa'yo ang property na yon. An example of which, may condominium unit si employer. Pinapahintulutan niya na doon muna tumira si employee. Okay? Or, bumili ng condominium unit si employer, hinuhulugan niya, ang nakakatira doon si employee, pero hindi nakapangalan kay employee, hindi nakapangalan yung titulo kay employee. O kaya naman, sasakyan. Kumuha ng sasakyan si employer. Pinapahintulutan niyang gamitin ni employee. Pero ang sasakyan doon sa ORCR, ang nakapangalan pa rin si employer. Ay, employer pa rin. Now, paano ang rule? The value of the fringe benefit is equal to the depreciation value of the property. Okay? Kung ito, pagmamay-ari, no, ni employer. If the property is owned by the employer. Sa kanya yung pondo, pinapagamit niya lang. Okay? If the property is not owned by the employer, some paragraph. Okay? If the property is not owned by the employer, but being leased out to the employer. Kamukha ng yung kondo. Yung kondo, ang may-ari, hindi si employer. Nangungupahan lang din si employer. Kaso, ang nagbabayad ng upa si employer, ang gumagamit si employee. Okay? In this case, the value of the fringe benefit is equal to the rental or lease payment of the employer. Simple as that. Know these three rules and it will be easy to go along with fringe benefit. Okay? How do we compute muna, no? Fringe benefit. As mentioned a while ago, the rate is 35%. Okay? 35% ang rate ng fringe benefit tax. Saan natin i-multiply ang 35%? 35% of the times tax base. Ang tax base ay grossed up monetary value. Okay? Gross up monetary value of the fringe benefit. Okay? How do we know the gross up bigyan natin to ng gross up monetary value. Yan. For brevity, we use GUMV. GUMV, on the other hand, is equal to the monetary value. For brevity, we will use MV of the fringe benefit divided by 65%. Take note of this one, 65%. Okay? Okay? So, bigay tayo ng mga case of bigay tayo ng mga case ng fringe benefit. Housing privilege. Okay? Housing privilege. For example, the employer leases residential property for the use of the employee. Okay? Employer leases residential property for the use of the employee. How do we compute? Okay? Let's say the value using these three rules, no? Dahil ang nagli-lease, ito, if the property is not owned by the employer but being leased out to the employer for the benefit of the employee, the value is the value of the benefit. Benefit is equal to rental paid by the employer. Okay? Ano naman yung monetary value of the benefit? The monetary value of the benefit is 50% of the value of the benefit. Sir, saan galing yung 50%? Take note of this one. If only the use is being, if the benefit is only use, no? Yung use ng property. Pag nakita mo tong term na use, yung monetary value ng fringe benefit ay 50%. Okay? 50%. Ibig sabihin, if the rental rent payment is 100,000, the monetary value of the property is 50% of 100,000 or 50,000. Kapag use lang ang ginagamit. Okay? Kasi yung property, pagmamay-ari, hindi pagmamay-ari. Hindi pagmamay-ari ni employee. Pinapagamit lang sa kanya. So 50%, pag nakita mo yung term na use, 50% agad. Okay? O paano naman if the employer owns the residential property? Okay? Po, tapos ina-allow niya si manager or supervisor to use as residence. Ibig sabihin, ang may-ari si employer. Okay? Ang may-ari si employer. Okay? The benefit, no? The benefit of, okay? The amount of benefit in this case is 5% of the fair market value of the land and improvement. Okay? Land and improvement. Paano how will we determine what is the value of fair market value? Or remembering your capital gains tax. Pero ano ba pag land ang pinag-uusapan? Fair market value, no, is the zonal value as may be determined by the commissioner of BIR or the assessed value as determined by the local government unit, no? Basta fair market value. Okay? O monetary value of the benefit. May nakita ka bang term na use? Mayroon, di ba? Employer owns the residential property for the use of the employee. Since use, 50% of the benefit. So, assuming the value of the residential property is 10 million. Okay? The value of the residential property is 10 million. Ang benefit ay 5% of 10 million, which is
500,000.
500,000. Sige, double check natin. Okay, 500,000. The benefit. And the monetary benefit na naibibigay doon sa employee ay 50% of the benefit, which is 500,000. The monetary value in this case is 250,000 annually. Okay, annually. Saan ba galing itong 5%? Okay? Remember this rule. Sana dito tayo sa mga rules pa lang. Okay? I'm just reducing them to example. Okay? I'm just reducing them to example para you can imagine. Mas madaling imagine kesa sa words eh. Okay? Okay. Saan ba galing yung 5%? Okay? Since we're talking about residential property, no? A while ago, if the property, saan yan? Eto, if the benefit received is a property, tapos yung may-ari, si employer pa rin kasi hindi niya tina-transfer kay employee. Pinapagamit niya lang use of RAC. Use of RAC, yun yung use, no? The value of the benefit is equal to the depreciation value of the property. Saan galing yung 5%? Meron tayong assumption here that the depreciable value is for residential property ay 20 years. 20 years. Kaya, mapapansin mo, 5% is the annual depreciation. Paano nakuha yung 5%? 1 divided by 20 years equals to 5%. So the assumptive depreciation value is 5%, which is taken from the depreciation the years that the residential property will be depreciated. That is 20 years. Kaya siya 5%, no? Just be familiar with this rule. Later on, pag mag-compute tayo para dire-diretso. Okay?
Sir, yung 1 sir, 1 year lang nagamit. Tama po ba?
Yes, 1 year. 1 year over 20 years.
Okay.
Kaya siya 5% per year. Nade-depreciate ang property 5% per year. 5% per year sa kinalaunan, after 20 years, magiging 100% na siya. Fully depreciated ang residential property. Bakit depreciation ulit? Yun, ang depreciation or the depreciation value is the value of the benefit in this case. Kasi ang may-ari, si employer. Pinapagamit niya lang kay employee. Kasi unlike kanina, ang value natin is yung rental. Kasi nangungupahan lang si employer tapos papagamit niya. Ngayon, hindi na siya nangungupahan. Sa kanya na yung property. Paano natin malalaman magkano yung value ng benefit na naibibigay kay employee? Kung magkano yung nade-depreciate ng property sa tuwing ginagamit ni employee. Okay? And that is 5%.
Bali sir, yung 50% po na interest, pag residential lang 'yon, sa housing benefits lang po ba 'yon?
Hindi.
Hindi po.
This 50% signifies kaya natin 50% yung monetary value kasi yung pinapagamit, yung benefit na binibigay lang ay use. Papansin nyo, use. Walang transfer of ownership. Magkaiba ang ownership tsaka use. Okay? Ownership is not the same with the right to use. Okay? Parang ganito yan. Pag nangungupahan ka sa isang condominium or apartment, iba ang may-ari ng apartment or condominium, iba ang taong may karapatang gumamit ng apartment or ng condominium. Kuwari, si X, siyang may-ari ng condominium. Tenant niya si Y. Si X ang may-ari. X have the ownership over the condominium. While Y, yung tenant niya, has the right to use. Siya ang may karapatang gumamit kung tenant siya. Ngayon, since ang naibibigay lang na employee dito, naibibigay lang dito sa employee ay yung karapatang gamitin, right to use. Pag right to use lang ang benefit na nare-receive ni employee, 50% natin yung monetary value. 50% natin yung monetary value. Following? So whether residential yan, or later on, pupunta tayo sa mga car benefit, or expenses being shouldered, or ano pa ba? Car benefit, property benefit, basta use lang ang ginagamit, ang binibigay, 50% yan.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, okay, third rule. What if, nandito tayo sa housing privilege pa din ha. Third rule, what if the employer purchases residential property, no? On installment basis. Ibig sabihin, no? Employer purchases residential property on installment basis and allows the employee to use. So, nakita mo na naman yung term na use. Pag nakita mo yung use, okay? Pag nakita mo yung use, mark mo na agad, 50% natin yung monetary value. Okay? 50% natin yung monetary value. Okay? Allow the employee to use as residence. Okay? Benefit, Annual benefit of the property, 5% of the acquisition cost. Okay? Bakit acquisition cost? Kanina kasi, fair market value, di ba? Kasi pagmamayari na ni employer. Ay, pagmamayari na ni employer eh. Ngayon, bibilhin pa lang ni employer. Kasi installment niya. Installment niya. So, bibilhin pa lang niya. Hindi pa natin alam yung fair market value niya eh. Kasi, uhulugan pa lang niya yan eh. Okay? So, paano mo malalaman yung value nung residential property? Di yung acquisition cost niya. Sir, di ba minsan pag naguhulog tayo ng bahay, pag maghuhulog ka ng bahay, definitely, meron yang interest. Di ba? Either papa-shoulder mo yan, papa-shoulder mo yan sa bank, or if may in-house financing mismo yung real estate, no? May interest pa rin yan. Sir, the question, since installment basis yan, kasama ba yung interest na babayaran ni employer? Kasi installment to eh. Kasama ba yung interest na yon doon sa acquisition cost? The answer is no. Okay? Not including interest. Okay? So kung ang hulugan ni employer dyan, aabot ng 10 years, tapos mako-compute naman doon eh, yung principal, yung portion for interest and portion for principal. You do not include the portion for interest. Okay? Only the acquisition cost, only the principal. Okay, ano pa? O monetary value natin, 50% of B. Okay? O nasa rule pa lang tayo ha, maraming rule dito, so you really have to memorize, no? O, puro use tayo. What if in this case, the next case, no? The employer purchases residential property and transfer the ownership to the employee. In this case, wala nang use kasi transfer the ownership to the employee. Highlight mo agad yan. Okay? Papansin mo, kanina use, kaya natin siya pini 50%. This time, hindi na siya use. No? Ibinibigay mo na yung ownership, okay? Yung ownership doon sa empleyado. Bibili daw siyang property, tapos bibigay niya, itatransfer niya kay employee. What is the value of the benefit? Okay? The acquisition cost of fair market value, no? Whichever is higher, lagi namang higher yan eh. Yung fair market value, alam naman natin yan kung ano eh, yung the higher between the zonal value or the assessed value. Ang palatandaan ng dyan, yung pinakamataas na amount lagi na binibigay ng problem. Selling price or acquisition cost, assessed value, or zonal value. Kung ano ang pinakamataas, yun lagi. Pag real property ang pinag-uusapan natin sa taxation, either nasa income tax ka, nasa business tax ka, or nasa estate tax ka, or owner's tax ka, pag pinag-uusapan natin real property, ang valuation ng real property is the highest amount. Okay? Kung may selling price, if it is income tax or business tax, may selling price yan. The highest between the selling price, the assessed value, and zonal value. Kung estate tax, owner's tax, the higher between the assessed or zonal value. Basta real property, nasa section 6 of the tax code kasi, the valuation or real property for the purpose of the tax code shall be valued. Kung ano ang pinakamataas. Selling price, if applicable, zonal value, and assessed value. So madali, walang rule kasi, yung rule lang doon highest eh. See, that will result into the higher tax. Okay? In this case, what if si employer bumili ng residential property tas ibibigay niya transfer kay employee? Di yung acquisition cost or fair market value, ang importante dito, yung monetary value, 100% of. See the difference kanina, pag pinapagamit, pini 50% mo. Pero pag tinransfer mo yung ownership, 100% mo. Okay? 100%. Another example, okay, if the employer purchases residential property, okay, employer bumili ng residential property and transfers ownership to employee for residential use at price less than the employer's acquisition cost. Okay? Ibig sabihin, in this case, the employer, bumili si employer. Okay? Bumili si employer. Tapos, binenta niya. Example tayo dito. Bumili si employer 10 million. Tapos, ibibenta niya daw kay employee. Sige, bibili ako ng residential property. If okay sa'yo, pwede mo yung residential property worth 10 million. Okay? As your benefit, being a key employee, being a managerial employee, you only need to pay us 1 million. Okay? 1 million na lang daw ang babayaran ng employee. Okay? 1 million na lang. May benefit? Yes. Okay? Pwede yan, di ba? Minsan, minsan nangyari yan, cellphone. Cellphone, bibilan ka ng cellphone ni company, ang babayaran mo lang down. Tapos, ang magtutuloy ng hulog, si company. O kaya, magbibigay ka ng sasakyan, babayaran mo lang down, ang magtutuloy ng hulog, si company. O kaya, bibilihan ka ng house and lot or residential unit ni company, may bibigay ka lang na certain amount, ang magtutuloy ng amount, si company. Paano pag gano'n? Eto, katulad dito. Babayaran mo lang daw 1 million. Kaya value ng property, 10 million. But the amount of benefit is the difference between the value or fair market value and the cost to the employee. Okay? Or fair market value minus cost. In this case, fair market value minus 1 million, the benefit is 9 million. As simple as that. Oh, monetary value. May use ba dito? May transfer of ownership, di ba? So parang yung difference ng 9 million, transfer kay employee, hindi naman para gamitin lang, di ba? Hindi lang para gamitin lang. Transfer of ownership. Ang may-ari na si employee. So, magkano ang monetary value? 100%. The monetary value therefore is 9 million. Katulad dito, no? The acquisition cost 100% of the acquisition cost. Okay? Okay. Meron pa bang possible? Parang wala nang possible. Okay. Patapusin na natin yung housing privilege. Okay? Since we've discussed possible scenarios ng housing privilege ang binibigay ni employer, ano naman yung exemption? Ibig sabihin, the housing privilege given to employee not taxable. Ano yan? Ano yung mga housing privilege na ibibigay ni employer kay employee pero hindi siya subject sa fringe benefit tax? Unang-una, temporary housing for employee for 3 months or less. Pag ang binigay 3 months or less lang for an employee, 3 months or less lang, hindi yan na fringe benefit. Okay? Hindi yan considered as fringe benefit. Now, perhaps it may be considered as merely as an expense account of the employer in pursuit of its business, but it is not considered as a benefit for the part of the employee. Walang fringe benefit tax dan. And this is the most important part. Minsan, may mga, ano 'di ba, may mga factory, may mga company na malalayo. And may shuttle minsan, 'di ba, yung mga company. Say, lalo na 'pag sa province, ganyan, or malawak yung company na meron yang mga shuttle. Minsan naman, para hindi na nagsha-shuttle yung mga empleyado, meron ng unit or housing unit sa loob ng factory mismo or yung business premise or yung minsan tawag diyon barracks, 'di ba? May barracks sa loob or may unit sa mismong may housing unit sa mismong business premises or factory. Okay? If the housing unit okay, for a while. For a while. Ayusin lang natin. May mga nag-message pala, ano, na hindi makapasok. Sige, ayusin lang natin. Manage. Magtoto. Okay, kindly inform us. You can join. Ako na pala. Okay. I'll just change the settings to everyone. Okay. Now for those I'll send the link sa message box. Can you forward to your classmates na hindi makapasok, no? Can you forward? Okay. Let's go back.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
yung fair market value tsaka yung zonal value, isa lang po yun, no?
No. Ganito. Yeah, I will cite the exact provision, no? Para clear. That is section 6. I'll just pull out my code para at least base tayo sa batas, no? If you have a tax code with you or National Internal Revenue Code with you, or you have a copy thereof, you can see under section 6, para ito, moving forward din sa mga future tax subjects, no? Section 6 of the tax code provides, no? Section 6, particularly Section 6E of the tax code provides, okay, that for the purposes of computing any internal revenue taxes, the value of the property shall be whichever is higher of subparagraph 1, the fair market value as determined by the commissioner. Ang tawag natin dyan, zonal value. Okay? Or the fair market value as shown in the schedule of values of the provincial and city assessors. Ang tawag natin dyan, assessed value. Okay? As you can see, interpreting section 6 of the tax code, as you can see, fair market value, when we talk about real property, fair market value can either be the zonal value or the assessed value. Okay? So, paano mo na lang malalaman what is fair market value? You would know what fair market value is. You determine whichever is higher. Okay? So, if the zonal value is higher, the zonal value is the fair market value. If assessed value, nung nandun sa assessor's office, kung taga-probinsya ka or municipality ka sa provincial assessor, o kung taga-syudad ka, city ka, doon sa city assessor, if the assessed value there, yung value ng property nyo doon, is higher than the zonal value, yung assessed value ang fair market value. So, ang fair market value, sumasama lang siya kung alin ang mas mataas. Okay? So, the fair market value is the higher between the zonal and the assessed value. Okay? Clear ba?
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Okay? Sa lahat yan, Sa lahat yan. Kasi sabi ng section 6, for the purpose of computing any internal revenue taxes. So, papasok dyan, income tax, business tax, estate tax, donors tax, etc. Lahat ng taxes na nasa internal revenue taxes. Like, under the tax code, lahat yan ang susundan. So, no need to memorize. Pwede mo nang ipako itong lesson na to. Pwede mo na siyang embed sa utak mo kasi wala nang magiging exemption pa dyan. Except, of course, pag capital gains tax, di ba? Sabi kasi sa capital gains tax, the higher between the selling price or the fair market value. Okay? So, yung pinakamataas, di ba? Kasi nga, pag capital gains tax, nagbebenta ka, di ba? So, may additional value doon. Ang tawag doon, selling price, di ba? Pwede naman kasi mas mataas yung benta mo sa property compared sa zonal value or sa assessed value, di ba? So, yun lang. Okay? So, lahat ng valuation ng real property, sinusundan to sa income business or business tax. Okay? So, going back, okay? Going back, dun sa mga tinatawag nating barracks or housing unit situated inside or adjacent to the premises of a business or factory. Okay? Pag yan, yung binibigay na housing privilege, nandun lang naman sa loob ng factory or business. Nandun lang sa loob ng barracks kahit sobrang ganda pa niyan, no? Basta nasa loob yan, walang fringe benefit tax diyan. Okay? Basta nasa loob. Yung inside, unit situated inside, no problem eh. 'Di ba? Madaling malaman kung nasa loob ang isang property or hindi. Paano naman pag adjacent? Okay? We consider the property adjacent if it is located within the maximum of 50 meters from the perimeter of the business. Ibig sabihin, business premises. Yeah. Okay? Ibig sabihin, considered pa rin adjacent yan, basta hindi lalampas ng 50 meters sa location ng business. Adjacent pa rin yan. So, kung gusto nyong makaiwas, for example, no, ng fringe benefit tax. At the same time, gusto nyo makahikayat ng employee, competitive yung package na ino-offer nyo sa employees nyo by offering housing privileges. No? But at the same time also, you don't want to pay fringe benefit tax, you can consider building or having housing unit inside your business or factory, or kung hindi naman kaya inside, since space for a practical reason or business other reason, pwede naman adjacent, basta hindi lalampas ng 50 meters. Okay? O ano pa? Ano pa yung pwede dito? Minsan may mga empleyado na didistino, di ba? Katulad ng mga military officials of the armed forces of the Philippines. Okay? Pwede Army, Navy, or Air Force. Yung housing privileges nila, exempt from fringe benefit tax. Okay? Housing privileges of military officials of the armed forces, either Army, Navy, or Air Force, hindi yan na-fringe benefit tax. Yung mga nadidistino nating tropa, no? Sa iba't ibang locations sa Pilipinas, hindi
Kahit
yan.
ilang months pa ba yan sila, sir, dyan?
Yes. Even if it takes years, even if it takes decades, no, the law does not distinguish, so we should not. Huh? It is tax and it is exempt. Okay? Question so far?
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Let's go to ano pa? Ano pa yung mga pwedeng aside from housing, parang ito na halos yung sa housing eh. Madalas kasi housing. Motor vehicle tayo. So A or B? A. A. So, motor vehicle. It can either be vehicle. Motor vehicle. Yan ang motor sa batas considered motor vehicle ang any locomotive which is powered by a motor engine. So pwede yang motor, two-wheeled, pwede yang sasakyan, four-wheeled. Okay? Motor vehicle. Madalas ganyan naman yung benefit na binibigay. Unang-una, employer purchases the motor vehicle in the name of the employee. Madali. O, in the name of the employee. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang tawag dito, hindi lang gamit. Kasi, binigay na sa kanya eh. In the name of the employee. Benefit, acquisition cost. Magkano yung nabili yung motor or yung sasakyan? Monetary value, 100%. Kasi nga, in the name of the employee. Okay? Oh. Madali, acquisition cost eh. Oh. Employer provides the employee with cash for the purchase of motor vehicle in the name of the employee. Sabi ni employee, o sige, hanap ka ng motor. Hanap ka ng sasakyan. Magli-issue kami ng cheque. Give us a quotation from sales agent. Hanap ka ng sasakyan. Bigay mo sa amin yung quotation. We will process the check. We will give you the check or the cash to purchase that motor vehicle. Have it in your name para mas madali na lang. Kasi kung kami pa, sabi ng employer, kung kami pa bibili ng motor, ipapangalan sa amin, tapos ililipat sa'yo na naman, matatagalan pa tayo. Kasi di ba, yung ORCR sa amin nakapangalan, o magdidid pa tayo, ililipat sa inyo, papalipat na naman yung rehistro. Ganito na lang para madali. Kung hanap ka ng sales agent, hanap ka ng motor vehicle, hingi ka ng quotation for the price, give the quotation to us, we will issue a check, you'll be the one to purchase it, give the check to them. The motor vehicle will be, motor vehicle will be issued in your name. The ORCR will be in your name. So, madali. Ito, medyo madali lang ito. Parang medyo na-imagine niyo naman, 'di ba? It is practical, 'di ba? Magkano? Amount of cash received by the employee. Give me a minute. Okay, apologies about that. No? I had to take a call. Okay? Saan ba ako? Eto. No, very, di ba medyo madali naman yung senaryo na i-imagine naman sa totoong buhay eh. O, ngayon, dito, nagbigay ng pera si employer. Sabi niya, ikaw na lang bumili. Mahirapan pa tayo kung kami pa bibili. Magkano yung monetary value? Ay, monetary value, 100%. Dalawa lang ang memorize mo dito sa monetary value. Kung naita-transfer ba yung titulo sa employee or kung pinapagamit lang ba sa employee. Okay? Pag pinapagamit, sige na nga, lagay natin dito. Transfer of title, 100% monetary value. Right to use only, 50%. The monetary value is 50% or 100%. Okay? Para you will be guided with these rules. Okay? Ito 100%. Paano naman kung employer shoulders a portion? Tapos, motor vehicle in the name of the employee. Madali, bilisan na natin. Kano yung benefit? Di yung amount shouldered by the employer. Monetary value and 100%. Diba? Basic. Basic lang. Kung magkano yung benefit talaga na nare-receive. Okay? Okay. Paano naman, employer owns and the motor vehicle for the use of the employee. May motor na yung kumpanya. Okay? May motor na yung kumpanya. Papagamit, pwedeng gamitin ni employee. Yung paggamit dito ni employee, personal. Ibig sabihin sa kanya na yung motor. Parang yung sasakyan lang. Sa kanya na yung sasakyan or yung motor vehicle. O parang yung residential lang. Hindi pala sa kanya. Parang residential lang. Pwede niyang gamitin yung unit. Pero hindi sa kanya. Kay employer pa rin. Employer owns but allows the employee to use. Okay? So, how much is the benefit? Okay? The acquisition cost of motor vehicle over 5. Bakit 5 years? Or sige mo, para ano tayo, para uniform. Times 20%. Kasi 5 years. Saan galing yan? Ang kanina, employer owns residential property for the use of the employee, 5%. Kasi ang depreciation, 20 years. Pag residential property. Paano pag motor vehicle? Employer owns the motor vehicle for the use of the employee, 5 years. So you will multiply it by 20%. Okay? It is as if the depreciation value of the motor vehicle. Following? Since use lang ulit yan, monetary value is the 50% of the benefit. Following? So for example, the motor vehicle costs 200,000. The acquisition cost is 200,000. Multiply it by 20%. Being depreciated for 5 years. Annually, magkano? 40,000.
40,000.
Ang benefit, 40,000. Ang monetary value ay 40,000 times 50%. And the monetary value is equal to 20,000. Ang monetary value na nare-receive ni employee by being allowed to use the motor vehicle is 20,000 annually. Okay? So, ano pa ba? So, is pa ba tayo? Purchase, motor for the use. Okay. So, halos similar lang ang motor vehicle and si housing privileges, no? Same lang sila. Wala lang exemption ng ganito. Wala tayong exemption sa mga adjacent. Okay?
Sir,
Yes.
kailangan pa bang i-report yan quarterly para pumasok siya as fringe benefits at hindi maging regular tax?
Actually, ang reporting, no? Ang filing ng fringe benefit ay quarterly. Okay? So, bakit ba kailangang report? Okay? Bakit ba kailangang i-report ang fringe benefit? Okay? Pwede rini-report ito ni employer kasi lagyan natin dito. Fringe benefits can be claimed as expenses. Allowable deduction. Ibig sabihin, itong binibigay na fringe benefit ni employer, pwede yung allowable deduction. Ang pababa ng income tax ni employer. Para siyang business expense on the part of the employer. That's why the employer must report. Okay? Must report, must file and pay the fringe benefit tax quarterly. Okay? In order for the employer to claim the fringe benefit as expense. Okay, kailangan i-report niya. Okay.
Sir, paano pag nakalimutan ni employer i-report, di si employee magbabayad?
Hindi naman. Hindi.
Okay.
Okay. Kasi medyo unfair yun, di ba? The negligence of the employer or the bad faith of the employer to follow the law cannot result into a burden or prejudice on an innocent third person who is not in the first place under the law obliged to pay. Diba? Kasi sabi ng batas, ang dapat magbayad si employer. Hindi naman pwedeng gawin ng batas na, hindi nagbayad si employer. Since ikaw ang naka-receive, ikaw dapat ang magbayad. Hindi. Sabi kasi ng batas,
Okay,
ang magbayad si employer. Pag nagkamali si employer, hindi siya nakabayad on time, hindi niya re-report on time, pagkakamali ni employer yon. And it cannot be made to it cannot result into the mistake being transferred to the employee in such a way that the employee should be burdened to pay. Hindi kahit makalimutan niya ng employer, si employer pa rin magbabayad. Si employer magbabayad, si employer mape-penalty. No prejudice on the part of the employee. Hindi yan babayaran ng employee. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ano pa? Actually, yan lang naman yung mga may computation. What if okay. Sige. Ano pa ba? Ano pa ba yung mga usual na expense? Okay. Household expenses, such as personal expenses of the employee borne by the employer. Such as, ito yung mga expenses ni employee sa shoulder ni employer. such as salaries of household help, personal driver, etc. Okay? Personal driver of the employee. Or similar expenses such as pwede dyan, garbage dues, association dues, homeowners dues. Pag ang nag-shoulder niyan si employer, basta yung personal expenses, no? Personal expenses shouldered by the employer, magbayad si employee, fringe benefit. Entire amount, no? Fringe benefit is the entire amount paid or shouldered by the employer. Okay?
Sir,
Yes.
paano naman po i-calculate po yung FBT pag yung benefit po is for both work and personal use po? Like gadgets po or laptop. Same lang po ba siya sa motor vehicle?
Ibig sabihin, ang laptop provide for work. Tama? Let's say company laptop, ganun. Tapos, ginagamit rin ni employee for personal use.
Opo.
But, the employer, hindi, yung makikita mo kasi dyan is the intention of the employer or the agreement between them. Usually kasi, pag binibigay ang company laptop, it is being given on the premise that it will be used for work purposes. Okay? Very seldom that a company laptop is being given to the employee for on the premise that you can use this sa work and at the same time you can use it personally. Okay. Should there be a circumstance where okay, binigay na 100% yung laptop on the premise na gamitin mo sa work and sige, sa'yo na rin yan. It is yours naman in the first place. Transfer. Ang ano dyan, gamitin mo sa work. So you can use it, you are obliged to use it at work at least 8 hours. You are obliged, you can use it elsewhere. I have not seen any regulation which answers yung kung ano yung tamang ratio doon, no? Na pwede mong gamitin sa work and personal at the same time, no? But I think, my opinion, no, ang tamang ratio doon is give me a minute. Tingnan natin yung tax code. Baka may word sa tax code na can address our problem at hand. You can always refer to the law. No? Let me just pull out my order.
Sir, excuse me po.
Yes.
Hindi po ba yung sa question po, hindi po ba siya tinatawag na hybrid expenses since partly for business po siya and partly for employee po? So, hindi po ba siya yung 50% nung mismong cost po nung laptop is subject sa fringe benefit tax or iba po yun?
Yes. Actually, merong ganon. But it applies to yung motor vehicle. Usually it applies to motor vehicle yung mga motor vehicle that are not normally used for business purposes or at the same time yung motor vehicle na yon motor vehicle being used for business purposes and at the same time used for personal purposes 50%. However, medyo tricky yung part kasi ng laptop kasi bagay 8 hours rin ng work. Teka, sige, refer tayo sa mismong tax code. I myself is curious on that matter. I want to give an exact answer kasi. Give me a minute or two. Hanapin ko lang. Just to give you an exact answer. Okay lang yan. Marami naman gray area sa taxation. It's a good thing na you can spot one. French bank. Ano bang provision ng French benefit section? For a while, again. Give me 2 minutes. French benefit tax code. Section 33. 33 ba? Ayun, sa bank. Okay.
Bali sir, ano ba yan? Laptop tsaka yung mobile magiging parang under ba yun sa allowance, sir?
Hindi siya allowance kasi meron binigay na personal property. The catch here is
personal siya.
the catch here is that the property can be used. Kasi yung usual dyan is bibigyan ka ng company laptop, yung agreement dyan is that gagamitin mo yan for work. But
pang corporation talaga, no, sir?
Let's assume, syempre, what if there's a problem? Let's assume na, sige, bigyan ka ng laptop, pwede mo ng personal yan, pwede, but also use it at work, parang ganun. Okay? That's the dilemma right now. Okay? I'm reading. Kasi, ganito yan. No? The rule in fringe benefit tax kasi is that you can escape fringe benefit tax by proving that fringe benefit, the benefit is required by the nature or necessary to the trade or business of the profession. Katulad ng yung laptop. You cannot perform your work without the laptop. Okay? Say yung nature ng work mo, let's say you're an accountant, binigyan ka ng laptop, you'll be using that laptop for the trade or you will be using that laptop as a requirement in the nature of your work. Kasi nga, accountant ka, di ba? Usually Excel yan or if meron kayong application na ginagamit sa company, you need the laptop. Okay? So if a certain good is given to the employee for the benefit or convenience of the employer, para magawa ng employee yung trabaho niya, it must not be subject to fringe benefit tax. That's why if yung laptop binigay lang para pang trabaho mo, hindi yun ma-fringe benefit tax. Pero if yun nga yung premise is pwede mo ring gawin, hindi mo pang trabaho, sa'yo na, pwede mong panglaro or what. Ako ay Wala rin sa batas, no? Nasa batas lang kasi, unless the fringe benefit is required by the nature. Ako, I would open, no? In my opinion, no? The 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 closest provision I would hang on that, or the closest regulation, is that 50%. Yun nga, 50%. Pero if you want to be more accurate, no? You want to be more accurate to it para mas maging compliant ka sa tax code. Although in the absence of regulation, no? I would find the ratio work. Let's say you are working medyo malabo. I would give an opinion that 50%. Ako 50%. In my opinion, 50%. Okay? 50% fringe benefit. Kasi that it is 50% exempt eh. Ayan, I would in my opinion 50%. Yan. But don't worry, hindi naman lalabas yung mga gray area na ganyan, no? Yan, in my opinion 50%. Okay? So wala eh, kung walang yan, 50%. Okay?
Thank you po, sir.
Ano pa? Maraming
Sir, ang
Yes.
yate tsaka ang airplane, same lang din sa motor yon.
Hindi. Okay. Ang yak, kasi ganito yan. Pwede ba? Okay. Yung tama, ang yate, no? Okay. Yan. Ang yak, no? Yung okay. Ang yate and aircraft. Ano yung isa mo? Yate tsaka aircraft ba yung isa?
Tama yan, sir. Yacht tsaka aircraft.
Okay. Eto, let's distinguish the two. Okay? Yung yate, yung use of yacht, no? Taxable fringe benefit yan. Okay? Taxable fringe benefit yan since it is more on yung nature kasi ng yate is that it is more than just for business use eh. It can be for personal. It can be personal. Para rin siyang at some point yate are being under the civil code being treated as fixed or immovable property. So yate, taxable fringe benefit yan, 5% din. Okay? If it is owned by the employer, tapos pinapagamit niya, owned by the employer for the use of the employee, dahil own yan, depreciation value. Kasi pagmamayari eh. So magkano ang depreciation value? Ang yate, since it is also under the, I believe that is Article 415 of the Civil Code, is considered as an immovable property. Yung depreciation niya also is for immovable property, 20 years or 5%. Okay? So the value of which, the benefit, therefore, is yung 5% of yung acquisition cost or fair market value or kung ano man yung value na ginagamit in evaluating yate. Kasi walang ano yan eh, walang zonal value, walang ano yan eh. Walang zonal and assessed value eh. It is a personal property wala yang titulo, but it is treated under the law as immovable property. Pero hindi ka pwede pumunta sa assessor's office para tignan yung value ng yate kasi nga hindi yan ina-assess as real property. But it is treated as real property. Medyo magulo. Na? So 5% of the acquisition cost or fair market value anong available. And the monetary value, since it is only for the use, 50% of B. Okay? So if kung linilis naman yan, kung leased by the employer, the value is the rental payment. Tapos lease for the use, use of employee. Monetary value is 50% of rental payment. Okay? Paano naman pag aircraft? Pag aircraft or helicopters owned and maintained by the employer, tapos pinapagamit sa employee. Say, hinahatid-hatid sa ganitong province or what for transportation purposes, no? Under the rules, no, it is not generally not subject to fringe benefit tax. The idea here is that aircrafts and helicopters are not benefits given to the employee. It is in the nature of or it is treated as expenses in furtherance of business of the employer, or it is being used it is for business use. Okay, so take note of the difference between aircraft or helicopter at yate. Yung aircraft and helicopter, there's a presumption that it is always being used. It is always for business use. Ang yate, if pinapagamit sa empleyado, since merong konting gray area ang batas natin, especially the civil code and the tax code when it comes to floating object pero hindi gumagalaw. Parang yung mga naka-float sa isang body of water pero hindi gumagalaw, hindi pinagtatransport, ginagamit siya as pwede siyang gamitin as residential. For tax purposes, they are sometimes being considered as real property. So ang yate falls within that exemption. Pag pinapagamit ang yate sa empleyado, okay, meron subject yan sa fringe benefit tax. Pero pag ang aircraft or helicopter ang pinapagamit sa empleyado, the assumption there is that it is for business use. Okay?
Sir, pag yung yate for entertainment use lang, hindi na sa subject for fringe benefit tax.
Case-to-case basis yan. For example,
okay.
Minsan kasi 'di ba may mga pwede yan pang-entertain ng kliyente.
Opo.
If it is used, ang determining factor dyan is not the use itself. The determining factor dyan is the purpose why it is being used. If the purpose why it is being used is for the furtherance of the business, such as, kasi in tax, we recognize entertainment expense, where in fact, meron tayong allowable representation and entertainment expense, di ba? So, we recognize expenses being incurred by company in entertaining clients. Okay? If the purpose of the use of the yacht is to entertain client, entertainment expense or representation expense, then it is a business expense. If it is a business expense, take note that business expenses are not subject to fringe benefit tax, even if there is an incidental benefit to the employee. Take note of this term, business expenses are not subject to fringe benefit tax, even if even if there is an incidental benefit to the employee. Katulad ng pinapagamit yung yun nga yung yate for entertainment purposes, tapos nagkaroon ng incidental benefit yung empleyado, say sinabihan ng kliyente, basta parang nag-enjoy rin siya doon, nag-stay rin siya doon. Incidental lang yung benefit nagkataon lang yung benefit. Basta if yung purpose bakit ginamit ang isang expense or ginamit ang isang property is furthering business, it is not subject to fringe benefit tax. Kasi it is not benefit in the first place. It is a business expense. Okay? So you will look at the purpose why the property was used. Okay? If the purpose is to further business, it is not subject to fringe benefit tax. If the main purpose is to give benefit to employee, it is subject to fringe benefit tax. Clear?
Okay, sir. Clear po. Thank you po.
Okay. So, ano pa ba sa fringe benefit tax? Punta tayo sa insurance. Punta tayo sa insurance. Okay? Minsan kasi, di ba, yung employer pinakukuha ng insurance, yung mga empleyado. Okay? Minsan, life insurance pa yan or health insurance. Nagbabayad. Nagbabayad employer para sa empleyado. Take note, pag sinasabi kong empleyado dito, it is a managerial or supervisory. Okay. If the general rule here, no? The general rule here is that insurance premium or cost of insurance, life or health, life, health, or non-life. Non-life ang tatawag. Non-life. Cost of insurance non-life, pag ang nagbayad, paid by the employer for employee, subject to fringe benefit tax. Okay? Subject to fringe benefit tax. May exemption dyan. May exemption dyan. Ano yan? If the contribution, no, is made pursuant to existing laws. Ano ba yung example na yon? SSS is an insurance, correct? Pag private employee ka, you are there is the so-called mandatory contribution. Well, basta sumasahod ka and you're a regular employee, meron tayong tinatawag na mandatory contribution. Makakaltasan yung sahod mo. Okay? Kalahati sa'yo, kalahati sa employer. Sa nihuhulog? Sa SSS kung private ka, or GSIS kung government ka. These are insurance, correct? And these are yung binabayad ni employer dito and employee are cost of insurance. Okay? Ang tanong, yung cost of insurance na binabayad ni employer on behalf of the employee, such as SSS, GSIS, by virtue of a law, is it subject to fringe benefit tax? No, it's not subject to fringe benefit tax. Okay? Kailan lang magiging subject? If yung insurance na binayaran ay hindi required under the law. Such as kung kinuha siya ng regular na insurance from an insurance company, mga life insurance, health insurance, non-life, etc. Okay? Ano pa? Okay, ano pa? If the insurance, no, if the insurance is for group insurance. No? Cost of premiums paid by the employer for the group insurance of his employees. Pag ang kinuwang insurance ni employer ay group insurance, kadalasan pag ganyan kasi ang beneficiary ay si employer. Ang titingnan mo dito, sino ba ang dito sa number 2? Sino ba ang makikinabang? Minsan kasi pag may insurance, 'di ba? Pag nangyari yung insurance niyan, ang nagbabayad yung insurance company upon the happening of the peril insured against. Life insurance. For example, pag namatay ang isang tao, makakuha siya ng insurance yung policy niya. Yung kung magkano yung policy niya, say kung 1 million, 2 million, makukuha niya. Makukuha ng beneficiary niya. Kung yung, let's say, spouse niya, anak niya, etc. Sila makakuha. Pero pag yung insurance kinuha ni employer, tapos siya rin naman yung beneficiary, such as, let's say, meron siyang isang empleyado, key employee, magaling, in-insure niya. Siya yung beneficiary. Kasi pag naisip niya, pag namatay to, or nawala tong employee na to, he will suffer monetary losses. Kasi bababa yung sales, mawawala ng kliyente, etc. Kasi nga magaling tong employee na to. Na minsan ginagawa 'yon. Okay? Pag siya yung beneficiary, hindi yun subject sa fringe benefit tax kasi walang benefit in the first place kasi hindi naman magbe-benefit yung employee. Hindi naman siya yung makakakuha no policy. Okay? So
sir, paano pag yung may-ari, sir, yung employer?
nga, yung ito yung sa 2, pwede dito.
Pwede
Ang may-ari ng insurance, si employer talaga.
Oo.
So pag may nangyari, kung life insurance man yan, kung may nangyari doon sa employee, ang makakatanggap ng policy, si employer. So it appears that wala namang benefit talaga on the part of the employee. It is as if a business expense such as in a way na rini-recoup ni employer yung possible loss niya pag mawala itong employee na to. Pag siya ang may-ari ng insurance, parang iniisip niya, pag nawala itong employee na to, malulugi ako ng ganyang amount. So, i-insure ko siya. So, para pag nawala siya, makakatanggap ako ng ganitong amount pa rin, at least to recoup with.
Bali, magiging business expense na siya, sir.
Yes, parang business expense na siya.
Hindi na siya fringe benefit.
Hindi siya benefit kay employee kasi nga parang hindi naman si employee makakakuha.
Okay po.
So medyo medyo gets naman yung purpose kung bakit tinatax yung mga ganun. Okay? Sige. Ano pa ba?
Same lang yan, sir, doon sa fire insurance, sir, pag nasunog yung building. Ano rin siya? Parang business expense din?
Business expense yan. Basta titignan mo dyan yung purpose, bakit binibigay. Ano yung purpose nung binibigay? Is it for business purpose? If for business purpose, not subject to fringe benefit tax.
Okay.
If the purpose is to give benefit to the employee, it is a fringe benefit
Basta
tax.
titignan mo muna yung problem, sir, kung for business siya or kung for
Yes.
fringe benefit. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Teka. I'm scanning kung ano pa yung okay. Ayusin ko na pala. Sige. We will continue. May nakalimutan ako. Okay. Next meeting, I will dismiss you early. Wala na yung boses ko, next Saturday, okay, we will continue with foreign expenses for foreign travel. After that, at a fringe benefit, After that, compute tayo ng konti.
Okay, sir.
After that, compute tayo ng konti. Then we will go to deduction. Itemized deduction and special deduction. Buong deduction. Okay? Isang topic, I suppose, isang topic na lang yung nawawala dito sa fringe benefit.
Bali,
Foreign
under fringe benefit pa rin yun, sir, no?
Hindi. Ibang ano na yan.
Ay, iba na po yun.
Katuloy na
Bali,
yun.
chapter 12 na po yun, yung next.
Yung
Ano,
deduction.
dealing in properties, yun po ba yun?
Hindi, no? Hindi siya dealing with in properties. Ano yan? Nasa deduction.
Okay po.
I'm not sure anong chapter yun. 14 ba yun? Yung
Okay.
deduction? Ano?
Regular income tax 14 individual.
Chapter 13.
Optional standard deduction po ba, sir?
Yan, yung ano na yan.
13,
Ano?
chapter 13.
Onwards. Lahat ng deduction. No?
Okay po.
So, next meeting, we will be discussing expenses for foreign travel. Then we will we will finish fringe benefit tax, then we will go with deduction. Okay? Questions so far with the rules in fringe benefit tax?
Okay po, sir.
Kasi
Wala naman.
yun, no? Yung mga computation naman, medyo kaya nyo naman na yan, no? Yung nagpo-focus tayo dito, yung rules kung ano yung mga ano yung basis, ilang percent, mechanical act na sa inyo yung pagko-compute, no? And sa thread ng board exam, papansin ko na hindi na ganong, mas lalong hindi naging computational lang tax, no? Mas nagmumukha siyang RFBT. Okay? So, we'll focus more on the law side of the
Okay po.
tax.
Sir,
Okay,
pa-upload po ng document, sir.
Okay, sige. Sige.
Okay, thank you po.
Sige, save ko na lang to. If there are kanina pa ba akong naabutan nyo ba yung kanina pa ba ako hindi nag-share? Yung insurance kanina na-share ko naman ba? Share screen?
Yes
Apo,
po, sir.
na-share po.
Okay, kaka-cancel ko lang, no? Okay, sige. If there are no more question, I'll see you next meeting. Yun yung coverage natin as mentioned.
Okay po, sir.
Sige, that will be all for today. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir. Sige po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.